So the male system creates the constructs. So what has happened is, as that construct or constructs are challenged, then the rationale for the existence of not only the constructs, but then also those things which we discover about ourselves have to be explained. Those things have to be explained. The male has a tendency to have certain things, or he has a tendency towards certain things. Let's explain it. The male does this. It means that. And it has to tie in to the rationale, the overall rationale of the male system. It has to tie in. So even speaking of males now, even when it comes to masculinity, which is the innate attribute of a male, there has been this explanations that have been given concerning masculinity, but it has to be looked at as something constructed, socially constructed, because when a male has a tendency to do certain things, then that has to now be called masculine, and it belongs to the male because of his tendency to do certain things, to be certain things. It's masculine to have strength, to have courage, leadership, assertiveness. Those things are masculine. Manly. If you don't have those things, the weaker they are in you, the less masculine you are. So it starts to be a part of a social construct. The social construct is, if you are male, then you tend towards being this way. You tend towards having these things. So when you impose those things, or you apply those things, those attributes, those characteristics rather, when you apply those things, that now is given the term masculine. So in that way, it connects to the construct. It makes it a construct, rather. So if it is a construct, that means not only can males be masculine, but females can be masculine too. Because it's a social construct, because a female can do the same things. They can apply those same characteristics of leadership, of assertiveness, courage and strength, and, those things. Independence. They can apply these same things. They can do these same things. And since it is said that those characteristics are masculine, it's a construct. So now that construct can be transferred to a female also. So many of us actually believe that a woman has masculine energy, and that a man has feminine energy, because they're characteristics that have been looked at as feminine And because a male can do them or may do them, then that construct can now be transferred to him. Instead of seeing masculinity as the natural tendency that comes from the male, a natural tendency, an innate tendency. If it's innate to the male, then it comes from some place that is not socially constructed. The system didn't create it. So there has to be a construct that makes it where a female can have it and a male can have what a female has in order to explain other constructs. So masculinity is looked at by many social scientists as being socially constructed. Like, since a male has a tendency towards this particular thing, then that particular thing is now called masculine. Those particular attributes, those particular characteristics is now called masculine construct. Instead of saying the male does this because he is masculine, or he has masculinity in him from birth, it is innate, and that's why he does certain things. But in order to continue the belief, really, and the operation of the imbalance in our lives with each other, male and female, there has to be something that explains when this man, for example, when the male uses those characteristics in an imbalanced way. When he uses his strength to dominate, oppress, things of that nature. When he uses his strength to do that, there has to be an explanation. Are males naturally oppressive? Not if you look at masculinity as innate, but then you look at the imbalance of the male system that takes control of it and feeds that male a doctrine that causes that male to develop in a particular manner consistent with his overall premise, with his overall root, which is power. Power. So the male has to be according to the male system, because the constructs have been placed in our lives before we were born. So we're born into it. And as we grow into it, we have what is basically a male privilege as long as we subscribe unconsciously as a matter of just being in the society. The indoctrination, everything that we are taught, everything that we see is to subscribe us, to sign us up for this subscription called male system.